The No Kings protests. Look, I actually was in the city, New York City. I saw some of them. Some of it is a joke. A lot of them didn't really seem to know what they were doing or talking about, a lot of the protesters. But here's what isn't a joke. The hatred of President Trump from the folks on the left and from the Democratic Party in general is still strong enough that they can get a lot of people to show up. Now, a lot of them, it was funny. I was on a subway with some of them on the way. They weren't saying it. People, it's like they were going to a job. So they're kind of like assigned to do it. But again, that's not a joke. And so they need to be considered by Republicans this year and next year in these elections coming up. Just hating on Trump is enough to get people to come out and show up. It's sad because I don't think these people actually understand what they're standing for. They didn't seem to be coherent. But Tyler, you know, the Republicans can't laugh this off completely.
Meanwhile,
I think this is a Love America rally. I wouldn't be out here if I didn't take, as a federal employee, I took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution, and that is exactly what I am doing here today, and I love this country.
This is a purely Democratic rally. We want to save and restore our democracy, and what we see is a visible shift towards authoritarianism, something that is patently undemocratic and patently un-American. And frankly, it's ridiculous. And so I am here dressed as a ridiculous character to try and just spread awareness that this is weird.
I mean, the administration is just complete lies, man. I mean, everything they say is just complete horseshit. You shouldn't have to, like, wake up in the morning and have the president be like, I hate you, and have an entire administration say, I hate you.
People that I care about have been detained. My friends and their lovers have to travel with passports in our own streets because their skin is brown. We're standing up for hope and for justice and our Constitution.
Double up. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies.
yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, the conservative libertarian here, and we're back with another one, man. Yes, sir. Man, that intro, I love it. It takes me a minute to get used to it sometimes because, like, I'll have these very long intervals and gaps between when I do my videos and stuff like that because, you know, I'm working and whatever. I work a 9 to 5, you know, manager shit. Coming back and having to do a video again, me having to say my intro again, I get kind of tongue twisted. But we're back in this bitch, man. So, like I said, if you watched my last video, we are seeing a lot of crazy shit going down in Chicago and a lot of these liberal areas like Portland and, you know, Chicago, Memphis. It's going down. It's going down. Trump is not playing around with these people. The violence, chaos, and destruction must end. If we got to put people in jail, lock their ass up. Lock their ass up. This right here needs to stop. I think America is getting tired of these groups, of these fringe groups, going out protesting all the fucking time about stuff that really does not matter like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We should have been enforcing these laws. We should have been enforcing law and order in our country. So we're going to go ahead and get to this video by Cash Jordan real quick, and we're going to watch and react to what he has to say about this video. So let's go.
If Congress will not check this administration, then Chicago will.
We're purchasing more buildings in Chicago to operate out of. We're going to not back off. In fact, we're doubling down. If we have to do it the hard way in Chicago, we will.
What do you make of the fact that the governor of Illinois and the mayor of Chicago claims to, in his words, be the leader of this resistance? What do you say to them?
I think they've even used that term rebellion. What I can say is that when President Trump uses the term insurrection, Well, he was right yet again.
He's the one, his mayor's the one that is not enforcing local law. It's the crime tsunami in Chicago, which I've written about, which I've talked about. I mean, there are parts of Chicago, as I've told you before, that are more dangerous than the war zones in Iraq and Afghanistan.
So as Chicago goes full sanctuary with their ice-free zones, America is starting to lose patience with this nonsense. And what nobody in Chicago wants to admit is that their radical anti-border policies and their constant rioting, this is just more of what America wants to move on from. Because for the last 4 years, open border advocates have had their chance to prove how great illegal immigration was for our country. And here we are today witnessing the very places that supported open borders the most collapsing before our eyes, with gang members being hauled from apartments and picked up on streets all over town, while these non-stop sanctuary mobs destroy the town because federal fugitives were removed from it. That's bizarre. But it gets worse, because as the mayor of this lawless sanctuary complains about things like affordability, while denying there's any crime problem at all, ICE agents are being ambushed on Chicago's streets by the same insurrectionists attacking the deportation jail in neighboring Broadview. Which brings us to the real reason the whole situation in Chicago just seems to keep getting worse. It's all state-sponsored at this point, from the ice-free zones to the constant rioting, which is being encouraged by the leaders of this place. Nobody in Chicago has come out and said that any of this chaos needs to disappear. And instead, they're digging in their heels, now creating what are so-called anti-ICE zones, where apparently federal agents are now banned, whatever that means, considering the federal government has total jurisdiction over Chicago. Meanwhile,
blocking ICE vehicles, just expect to get ran over or to get, hit by a car, because I'm just saying, like, you're obstructing, like, straight up, you're obstructing. And is it right for them running you over? No, but you're obstructing, and they have to go do their job. So, I mean, if you get hit, don't be crying foul when you get ran over. There has been a couple black people in Chicago. Actually, a lot of people in Chicago, not just black people, but a lot of people in Chicago. But it's mostly, I'm seeing a lot of black people voice up their opinions about Chicago, Memphis, and these other areas about how, like, yeah, this is a good thing for Chicago, or for Memphis and these areas where crime is just out of control.
Acclamation you gave yourself at that Black Caucus thing, where you said that you the freest black man in America right now? I dare you insult black men like that. You are far cry from that. You're sitting here talking against Trump, trying to make him look this way or that way, when we right here this morning saw you misuse the police department to violate our rights as citizens. Yes, right? You told them that they cannot participate in getting these illegal immigrants, while you sat up here and misrepresented that raid on South Shore Drive like black people was getting beat up and all that over there. You know that's a lie. I live over there, and black people over there, we kicking in and we chilling because ICE ain't looking for us. And you know they're not. They're coming to get what we asked our president to do, and that was to engage in mass deportation, to get these illegals out of our country. We are coming for them seats. Do you understand that?
And, like, people want to say crime is down in these areas, but it's like, just because people aren't dying like that doesn't mean crime isn't still happening. Doesn't mean people aren't still getting shot at. Doesn't mean there aren't still broad day shootings, robberies, theft, shoplifting type stuff. It's like carjackings. It's not like those things have dramatically dissipated. Like, they're still up. Like, there's certain data to show that a lot of these things are still up. Like I said, the Chicago mayor and the governor, they want to sit here and, be anti-Trump, but the only thing they're doing is being anti-American, and they're going against the American people's will and what a large mass majority of people voted for. Like, you would think this stuff is like common sense, but instead we still have people in this country who don't understand that this should have been enforced. Like, we should have been enforcing immigration laws, and the fact that we even have states that are announcing that there's ICE-free zones or they are sanctuary cities is literally going against the foundation of the Constitution. And they want to say that this is a constitutional crisis. They're making a joke of the Constitution. That's literally what you guys do on a daily basis. You guys literally interpret the Constitution completely wrong every time. I literally was watching a video earlier from Melanie King, and she was showing a video of this guy who became a police officer, I think in Chicago or wherever he was at, some liberal city. But they gave this man a badge and they gave him a gun, and he's not even a legal citizen. How is this possible?
So how long have you been a police officer?
Since January 8th.
January of this year?
Correct. I just finished the academy.
You just finished the academy, okay. All right.
You had to get that.
Just to confirm though, too. Yeah. So they hired you on, you had work authorization?
Correct.
And you were able to carry a firearm?
No.
Okay.
On duty, yes. Off duty, no.
So on duty, you could carry a firearm?
State of Illinois, you need a FOID and a CCW to carry a weapon off duty.
But on duty, you could?
Correct.
Wow. You know, what's crazy about this is I don't know anything about him other than he says he loves America. The problem is he's not even a citizen.
How is this possible? I can get people. I can get when they be like, "Oh, who's gonna pick the cotton and who's gonna pick the grapes and from the farms and who's gonna run the hospitality rooms and stuff like that." Like, okay, you can get me on those things. Like, okay, we might need them for those things, right? But you're not gonna get me on police officer. You're not gonna get me on that one because that's a public safety hazard, right? He's not even a legal U.S. citizen and he has a gun. Hell no. Hell no. If no one has if people don't have a problem with that, then you obviously are delusional and you might need to do a little bit of self-reflection in the mirror when it comes to that. Because yeah, there should be no way in hell that there's a person roaming around in my community or in my city and they have a gun and they haven't even pledged allegiance to this country. They haven't even sworn allegiance yet. Haven't done none of the paperwork, but they got guns? Huh? No.
You know who's not banned from Chicago? Tren de Aragua gang members, who recently took over a Chicago apartment complex, paid zero rent, and immediately went about afflicting other residents and exploiting them. Something the lunatics you're about to see have no problem with.
The whole world is watching! The whole world is watching! The whole world
This is crazy.
is watching! The whole world is watching! The whole world is watching!
Right, the whole world is watching, but these rioters, they're so angry and they're so blind, they can't see past the law enforcement officers they've decided to take their rage out on. And footage like this perfectly explains the problems in Chicago. They're real. They just don't matter at all to the people who are busy destroying it, especially the people running this place.
The order establishes ICE-free zones. That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids.
Right, so as Chicago keeps collapsing because of lawlessness and its status as a sanctuary for as many criminals as possible, the mayor seems to want that to keep happening. And he thinks the same way as all radical progressives and Antifa mobsters, that if ICE would just leave and the border would just reopen, we'd all have peace in America once and for all. Peaceful. And a perfect country, even though the people benefiting from an open border, both inside of America and outside of it, are not trying to improve things here for any of us.
I said very candidly that the right wing in this country wants a rematch of the Civil War. I want that to sit in right now because the President of the United States of America has declared war on the people of Chicago.
Wrong. Chicago and every sanctuary city in this country declared war on America when they decided that America's laws didn't matter to them, which is exactly what they prove every single day they fight to harbor federal fugitives. And these sanctuary leaders don't understand how that puts our entire country in danger, emboldens our enemies, and empowers criminals to make untold sums of money bringing people here illegally. While these sanctuaries double as places that give everybody who doesn't care about America's laws or rules one bit a safe place to hide.
Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Look at these guys. And then look at this. And look at these people. Nothing about this is peaceful. Not a single thing about this is peaceful. And the fact that they're trying to sell this on the liberal outlets and liberal media, that this is a peaceful, these are peaceful protesters. MSNBC, these are peaceful protesters. They're not causing uproar. They're only expressing their right to assembly and their right to protest and the right of freedom of speech. Your right of freedom of speech and your right to protest and your right to assembly does not mean you get to assault vans. It doesn't mean you get to assault federal property. That's not how that works. That's not the same thing. Oh, they're just trying to show the world that they're Americans too by destroying things. You're not American by destroying stuff. That's not American. And they're gonna be like, well, that's what America was founded on, was chaos and destruction. Yeah, but we're not that anymore. We're not there anymore. This is 2025, okay? We should be past this stuff, and that's what I'm saying. Like, people want to stay in the past. People want to always bring up, well, the past this, the past that. Okay, the past is important. We should never forget the past, but we need to protect our present and our future. And our present right now is fucked up, so if we don't protect the present, we're not going to have a future. These people don't understand that you're fighting for things that aren't going to matter 10 years from now. They're not going to matter 5 years from now. No one's going to be talking about the time that protesters came out and protested against Trump in heavily numbers. No one gives a fuck about that. No one's going to care. Excuse me. No one's going to care about that. The only thing that people are going to truly care about is about how well the president did. Was he successful in his mission to, get rid of illegal immigration, bring it down, border crossings down to literally to almost a complete halt, zero, none. Did he bring down inflation, or is inflation steady? Is it not rising to a crazy level to where we can't outpace inflation? Is the GDP growing? Are we growing economically? You know what I'm saying? Is there more jobs being created? That's what's going to be more important, not these little agitators and these people that are going to be like, yeah, I was there protesting against Trump when he came to my city and tried to take away illegals, and tried to take away health care, tried to take away food stamps. I was there. No one's going to care. No one's going to give a fuck about none of that, bro. And that's what I'm saying. These people, they're literally just there. A lot of these people are just there to just fit in. They want to be in the in crowd. They think that they're a part of the resistance. This isn't the resistance. All this is just stupidity and full-blown Trump derangement syndrome on full display. That's all this is. Hey man, this stuff is crazy. This stuff is actually insane to just watch. Like, every time I watch more footage as I'm at work, or I'm just out and about walking around, or I'm with my kids and I'm just watching stuff on TikTok and YouTube. It's just like, bro, yeah, no, we're gonna make sure that everyone gets this correct. Everyone gets this 100% correct. These are far leftists. These are liberals. Yeah, it's all of them. These aren't your average Americans. Don't group those in there because they're not them. Okay, these are fringe group people. Okay, and people who are socialists, communists, all these different things under the sun. They're not capitalists. They don't believe in government. They don't believe in borders. They don't believe in any of this stuff. So hey, let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Whether this was an L or a W, let me know down below. I appreciate you guys for rocking with the video. And yeah, we're growing every day, on the road to 1.9 subs. So yeah, I'll see you guys there. Till next time, man. Peace.